most of the time when we make this mistake, we don't even realize we're doing it. We don't even realize that it's actually steering us away from our dream of becoming a physical therapist. So if you're watching this and you actually want to become a PT, and you're currently a student trying to get into physical therapy school, listen up, because this is a mistake that you might be making.
Turning dreams into reality.
Hey, what is up? How you doing? My name is Ngugi. I'm a physical therapist. I'm also one of the co-founders of Pre-PT Grind, where we help you get into physical therapy school without wasting time or money. And in this video, I want to talk to you about how to avoid this very common pre-PT mistake in 2022. And I'm saying common because most of the time when we make this mistake, we don't even realize we're doing it. We don't even realize that it's actually steering us away from our dream of becoming a physical therapist. So if you're watching this and you actually want to become a PT, and you're currently a student trying to get into physical therapy school, listen up, because this is a mistake that you might be making that you might currently be making, without you even realizing. So this mistake is this. It's simply this. Asking a certain question to the wrong people. And that question is this good enough? And by this, we're talking about, is my application good enough? And we're usually asking it to family members, advisors, mentors, other physical therapists, other students, right? We're usually asking it to people that usually will give us some kind of feedback, right? Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. And usually when we ask that question, we're not asking, we're genuinely trying to get advice, right? Whether sometimes it's we're looking for confirmation of what we already know about our application. Sometimes we're looking for approval. Sometimes we're, hoping that, man, I don't think my application is that good, so I hope somebody says it's decent, right? Sometimes we're looking for guidance. We're like, is it good? But the key mistake is who we ask that question to. To be honest, asking whether or not your application is good enough is not bad. It's actually good. It means that you're at least trying to get better as a student. If you genuinely are trying to improve yourself as a pre-PT, that's a good question to ask. The difference is that all of those people that I mentioned are not the ones that are going to determine whether or not you get into PT school. The PT schools are the ones that determine whether or not you get into physical therapy school. So what I would love to advise, what I would challenge you to do is, if you ever find yourself asking, is this good enough? I want you to flip the question and say, well, okay, do I understand the schools that I'm applying to well enough to know whether or not this is what they want? And if this is what they want, cool. If this is not what they want, how can I turn it into the thing that they want? If I have to retake classes, if I have to do this, don't use that question. Don't ask that question to family members or whoever you're asking it to. Don't ask that question with the intention of hopefully having someone say, yeah, this is good enough. Yeah, I've seen someone get in with this grade before. Yeah, I've seen that's just that's asking for trouble. When we're looking for someone to basically appease us, then we're not really growing. If you're not giving yourself an opportunity to literally give yourself the best shot possible of getting into PT school, then you're going to find yourself basically running around shooting at, trying to target schools, and you're basically going to feel lost the whole time. It's like blindfolded and trying to shoot darts and missing left and right, and many of us don't realize that. So when you ask that question, is my application good enough? Ask yourself, first of all, do I understand the schools that I'm applying to well enough to know? And if I don't, then that's my first stop. I got to really know these schools. And then once I do know those schools, then it's a matter of saying, okay, have I become the perfect applicant for them? Have I tailored my application to become the thing that they desire? Because the truth is, schools are not dumb. Schools know what they want. Schools are also very different. And that's why you can get into certain schools and not others, depending on what your stats are and things like that. But I just want you to be very careful with who you ask those questions to. Always ask the person that matters. And the person that matters in this equation is the one that's making the decision over whether or not you're going to be in their program. And that's the school themselves. So spend more time knowing them. Don't just ask people around. Even if you ask me, I've had students ask me and they're like, Joseph, can you look at my application and tell me if it's good? And I'm like, I'm not the school. Trust me, I can guide you. I can tell you exactly how to get in. I can tell you how to do this, how to do that. But if I'm not the one deciding, if I'm not the school, if Joseph is not the school, if Casey is not the school, then just ask yourself, wait a minute, what am I really looking for? What am I really seeking when I'm asking for that? Am I seeking for someone to tell me that my grades are good enough? Am I seeking for someone to tell me that my GRE score will suffice because other people have gotten in with that GRE score? Or am I seeking to understand the schools I'm applying to and making sure that I'm doing everything in my power to become the best possible applicant for them? Here's why I'm even saying this too. This is so important because a lot of times when we have students that work with us, because we do have programs where we actually help students, walk them by the hand and help them get into PT school. We have all of that. But the biggest thing that I want you to kind of, if you've applied before, one of the best ways to know how well you knew a school is how quickly they reject you, right? And I'm not saying this badly. I'm saying if a school instantly rejects you, then that usually means that there's some red flags that they saw that you might have been able to catch beforehand if you had invested time into knowing what they were looking for. Does that make sense? It's kind of like if I ask somebody out and they say no immediately, but I've never really invested time into figuring them out and seeing if they're interested or seeing then I'm basically shooting in the dark. And that's what a lot of us do when it comes to applying to PT school. So focus on who matters, the programs. If you don't know how to do that, I would just start researching them. But more importantly, if you're looking for guidance, reach out to us and let's talk. We have ways to teach you how to do this stuff, but I just want you guys to ask the right question to the right person or the right people. And that is the PT school. And I'm not saying send them an email. I'm saying ask yourself the question as if you're talking to the school. Then ask yourself, what can I do research-wise? What can I understand? What's already out there for me to absorb so that I can go and actually learn these things so that I can start asking myself, hey, is this what the school already says they're looking for when I'm looking at their stuff online, when I'm listening to what they're saying during campus visits and all the different things that are already accessible to you. So I hope that makes sense. Super important conversation to have. But if you can start shifting your mindset that way and asking the right question to the right person, game's gonna change for you this year. All right. So you have an amazing rest of your day, evening, morning, regardless of when you're watching this. Also be sure to like and subscribe this page. If you want to learn more about how we can help you, go to preptgrind.com/home and we got you covered there. Have a blessed one. Much love.